Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well. If you are new to my channel, then hi, my name's Aneri and welcome to my YouTube channel. You'll see a lot of lifestyle related content already on my page, and moving forward you'll see a variety of content that is around corporate world as well. So if that sounds like something of interest to you, then make sure you subscribe to my channel. Alright, so now let's get straight into the video. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to be talking about imposter syndrome. If you don't know what that is, I will be leaving a description of it in the description box below, but I'll also be talking about it a bit later on in the video. I'll also be sharing my South Asian perspective on it and my 5 tips on how you can overcome imposter syndrome. So let's get straight into it. So firstly, what is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. And according to Healthline, imposter syndrome also involves feelings of self-doubt and personal incompetence. So whenever you achieve something, you don't really feel like you deserve that win, and you don't really know how to handle compliments because you don't think that you deserve them. So growing up in a South Asian household can often mean that criticism and comparison are tools of motivation. Now, if that is something that has happened to you, or if you've ever experienced anyone saying to you that, don't get complacent with your victory, or so-and-so did so much better than you need to really push yourself and get better. From our parents or that generation's perspective, they're really motivating you and encouraging you to do better and not to get a big head and get complacent. But for yourself, sometimes that can really mean that that victory was really not worth celebrating, and you often forget to celebrate small wins. And that's exactly what happened to me. Growing up, of course, whenever I did do really well in an exam, my parents would be really proud of me. They would tell me that you did really well, but then they would also say, now don't get a big head. You don't want to get complacent. You don't want to let other people get ahead of you. So that really shifted my mentality. I almost stopped celebrating small wins, not because of what my parents had said, but because I really didn't want other people to get ahead of me. And I thought that if I stop and celebrate small wins, I'm going to stop putting in the effort to do better next time, because I'm already very happy with where I'm at right now. What's going to be pushing me to get better? And that was fine for the short term, but as I continue on my professional journey, I realized that what's actually happened is whenever I feel low, or I feel like, do I really belong here, or I have any self-doubt, I actually reach out to others for self-reassurance and try to find my self-worth by their compliments. And like my partner, I will say to him that, hey, I'm not really sure if I've done a good job here, and he will obviously shower with me with compliments, because he's like, well, you have, and I don't think you recognize it. And whilst he is saying it, I feel really happy. I feel really great about all the hard work that I've done. But then the moment he stops saying it, 5-10 minutes later, I will have forgotten it. Nothing really sinks in, because I've never allowed myself to go beyond that imposter syndrome and really recognize the work that I've done and continue to do to be where I am today. And after really reflecting on imposter syndrome and joining a network at work that spoke a lot more in detail about imposter syndrome, I was able to identify the type of imposter syndrome that I have and work towards finding tips that work for me to overcome it. So these are my 5 tips on how I overcome imposter syndrome. I hope me sharing these tips with you will allow you to overcome your own imposter syndrome. So tip number 1 is to research. I had to research into imposter syndrome because I realized that there were various different types of imposter syndromes, and each imposter syndrome had its own trigger or triggers. So after researching, I was able to identify which imposter syndrome it is that I feel and the triggers that come along with it. And that way, whenever a trigger does come up, I'm able to stop and think, okay, this is just imposter syndrome. I need to find a way to overcome this so I can actually believe that I deserve this win or this compliment. Number 2 is having SMART goals. For me, having SMART goals, or even a vision board like this one behind me, has allowed me to accept my victory or my small wins, because whenever that win happened, I can look back at my vision board and see that, okay, actually I planned to achieve this. I had worked towards achieving this for some time now, and that way now I can actually stop and celebrate the small win because I deserve it. So number 3 is accepting compliments. Many times in my life I've realized that I can't actually accept a compliment. When somebody says you did a great job, I'm constantly trying to justify it because I feel like if I just say thank you, I'm being very vain or very full of myself. So I don't often say thank you. I just say thank you, but you know, it was just lucky. Or when somebody says, oh, like this isn't even professionally, when somebody even says, you know, look like you had a great holiday, I said, oh yeah, I did. I just got so lucky with the weather. I had a great holiday. It's okay to say yes, thank you, I did. And even like when somebody compliments my outfit or my hair, I'm just, you know, in the process of saying thank you, but I'm also looking at them, scanning them, thinking, okay, what can I compliment them on? And I think you'll notice that girls, especially when, you know, two girls meet and one of them says, I really like your hair, the other girl will most likely reply back with, oh thanks, I really like your shoes. Not just thank you. And I noticed this in myself so many times. I couldn't just say thank you and leave it at that. For me, that would just feel so unfinished, and I would like think about it later on that, oh, why did I just say thank you? It made me sound so full of myself. But over time I've come to realize that that's okay. I deserve that compliment because I did work hard, and it was just imposter syndrome stopping me from accepting their compliment. So now I have stopped, and I'm now just accepted their compliment and said thank you. I feel like I did do a good job, and sometimes I just leave it at that. So number 4 is journaling compliments. Now what I mean by that is that you might have a book or, you know, OneNote or even just notes on your computer where whenever somebody in passing even might say to you that something simple like, I really like the way you write your emails, you might type that up or you might write it out. So next time when you are writing an email and you ever feel like, oh my god, am I really the best person to write this email? This is going to a partner. I don't really know if I should get it double checked or not. You can refer back to that complimented journal, look at it and overcome your imposter syndrome and believe in yourself that yes, you know what? I am the best person to write this email. Write it out. You might get somebody else to double check it, but at least you're not passing up the opportunity. Because it's completely understandable that not every time you will have that inner voice backing yourself up or giving you that green light of confidence that yes, you've got this. You might need somebody else to actually say that to you. And if you have a compliment that's already written down, it can help you because it will just boost your confidence. It will help you overcome that feeling of imposter syndrome and help you push through and not pass up any opportunity. Now, number 5 is to celebrate the small wins and then reflect on what you can do better. A lot of the times I used to just skip ahead to the reflecting part and figure out how I can do something better next time without actually celebrating my small wins. So that's just the difference that I've seen after celebrating my small wins versus not. So I really recommend that you do celebrate your small wins, and that's not to say that, you know, that means that you get complacent. Of course, do reflect on what you can do better and how you can continually progress in your life, but definitely do celebrate those small wins because they really help. So I really hope these tips help you. These tips were designed for me because the way I feel imposter syndrome, or the situations that I feel imposter syndrome in, is whenever it comes to finishing a task and somebody celebrates my wins or acknowledges the hard work that I've done. I'm not always able to accept the compliments and acknowledge the hard work that I've really done and celebrate those small wins. So these tips really help me overcome that imposter syndrome and stop me from passing up any opportunity and having self-doubt, or even feeling like I'm not very competent or I didn't deserve to be celebrated or acknowledged by my peers. So these tips really help me, and I really hope that it helps you. Write down in the comments below any run-ins that you've had with imposter syndrome. I would really like to know. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and definitely do share my video, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.